We're here with Bernardine Wu, founder and CEO of FitForCommerce. Bernardine, how are you?
Great, nice to be here.
Great to have you. Bernardine, one of the things we want to talk about is how do you choose the right channel mix?
It comes to kind of customer behavior and what a customer is used to. Of course, in a lot of countries, customers are more used to mobile shopping, actually, or just use of mobile phones than actually in the U.S. We like to think we're pretty digitally advanced, but actually in a lot of countries, they're booking their doctor's appointments and they're doing their homework by mobile. So, but I think everyone has to have a multi-channel strategy, or as we would say, an omni-channel strategy. So this all-encompassing sort of channel approach, I think, has to be pretty central, and then picking where you're going to prioritize your investment in terms of the specific channel and how much marketing you're going to do in that channel, how much technology you're going to put behind that channel, and even like how much product you're going to sell in different channels, because things sell differently,
Right.
On small screen versus large screen versus in store.
For a small company that doesn't have a budget to be building a mobile app and optimizing all these elements, especially in country, what are their options?
Good mobile site that it's not necessarily a mobile app, but just mobile, we say mobile web, where in any sort of format you can open up your site. Many retailers and brands and manufacturers are using responsive design, which is a method of designing your site so that it doesn't matter what format someone opens it up in. It used to be that we would just pick some formats. The iPhone was like this, the Android was like this, and a website was like this. But now we actually have so many different sizes that we need to design for really anything.
What are the benefits to selling through a marketplace in an overseas market versus driving somebody to your own site?
I think we'd all love to drive and launch with our own sites, but I think the market dynamics are such that the audience is really there for the marketplace. And the marketplaces have already figured out a lot of things that we're going to have to figure out. They've got language translation already, and language translation is not just a factor of sticking it into a translator, right? The sort of nuances of the language are already there. Currency is already local, and currency also, the next step of that is payments. In South American countries, there's like 30 different kinds of payment methods that can be chosen. So that doesn't mean you have to offer all of them, but the marketplaces have kind of figured that out and already have also have those options. And then, of course, from a logistics perspective, they've figured out a lot more about how to get the product to a customer pretty quickly. I mean, you can ruin your brand. You can spend all this money to create your own brand site, and then you can ruin it just by how something gets delivered or how customer service is enabled. So I would really encourage folks to look at marketplaces, at least again, as a way to experiment, as a way to sort of maybe dip your toe in the water. Having said that, if you have a product that that really sells well and is can be sold, again, there are many ways to localize your site around language, currency, and payments.
When you look at a company that's unknown, finding traction and driving people to a .com US site, it seems like a big lift.
Yes, and there's a lot of work that's involved in that, and certainly search engine marketing has to be a huge consideration when somebody's typing in something abroad, especially if it's sort of obscure and difficult to find. Language, of course, is really important. What we call something, it may be very different than what they call it, and that applies to apparel, trousers versus pants, as well as just say office supplies or hard goods that one might be selling. So that localization of language has to play out not just in the presentation of the website, but also in your search engine marketing and the rest of your marketing program.
Bernardine, thank you so much for sharing all of your deep insight, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.